I'm Mr. CatNaps, and I'm here to do a vlog. I hope that made the camera a little bit better, but I wanted to mostly start doing vlogs because I haven't really done them before, and I feel like I'm going to be doing a lot of LED stuff in the future and communicating how I thought of them, why I wanted to do them, the thoughts that I arrived when I was building them. I kind of wanted to bring all of these to the forefront and just have a place where I kind of discuss them with the community, as well as get a little daily stream going. So let's start, I guess, with things that why you should watch me or what I'm gonna do. I'm 27 and I build LED things basically. I work with mostly ESP8266s, which node MCUs, which are a type of Arduino computer. They're pretty cheap. You can get them for about $6 on Amazon, and they can connect up to your Wi-Fi. So pairing this with Amazon AWS has basically been how I've been communicating with my microcomputers, and with that I've been controlling LEDs and sensors. And basically my goal is to, I'm not even sure what my goal is. Before I wanted to make an entire home automation system, and now my goal is more about focusing on niche parts of home automation, or basically niche parts that aren't necessary for home automation, that are just nice to haves. And I guess that's what I'm working on right now. I think that one of the funniest things is I'm looking at my background and I see that my curtains are destroyed. It's because my cat loves to sit on my windowsill, so he just like sneaks in through that corner from the couch, and you can tell he sneaks out from this corner, and I definitely got to figure out a way to deal with that. So that's on my list of things to do. But for now, I guess I've been focusing on what I'm good at, and then trying to expand my breadth to things that I'm not so good at, and bring to the people an interesting product, and ideally one that they can build and use themselves. So in order to basically start promoting myself or getting myself out there, I combined all my microelectronics and things that I've built so far, which has been a small home automation system, a home automated garden, and basically an Alexa run server that ran off my home server. And with this, I was able to connect a bunch of LED companies, and one of them actually sponsored me for a New Year's party, OllyTub, and I give them so much props because they sponsored me who had no views and basically nothing with LEDs to my name other than one like design that I had, and they sponsored me. So big ups to OllyTub. They made my New Year's party possible. Big ups to my best friends Evan Coppell and Jordan Pachonet. Sorry if I just used your name. My name's Steven anyway. I don't know if they care that I use their names, but these are my two best friends from the valley. They let me use their house, and I was able to throw, I guess, like the first party where I was demonstrating my breadth of LEDs and microcomputers. It consisted of 3 big decoration pieces, one being a pergola, in which we used 8 strands of 50 LEDs, 12mm diffused LEDs, and we set up these 400 LEDs in basically like a spider web pattern, and had them running off of 2 node MCUs. And then we set up 8 different clouds, all powered off of their own node MCU, running another strand of 50 12mm LEDs, and then a slime waterfall, which was actually highlighter water falling through a 10-foot pipe. And basically with these 3 decorations, I was able to make some sort of Instagram presence And the cloud actually took the clouds took me off the most. People want to know how I built them. They were looking them up. Touch of Modern has them for sale for like about $1,000. So people were really interested in how I was making these clouds for under $100 each. So it kind of got me thinking that my LED things that I'm building, even in the small scale, even if very niche, are interesting to people, and I want to get it out there and just do more things that are fun for me. So thank you for basically all those people that helped me throw this New Year's party and helped me, or making me need to do video logs so that people can see what I'm building next. And next up is this year is gonna be great. Like I just finished Couch Underglow, which we're gonna check out. I'm going to post the DIY on the slime fountain, and post the entire build of the party. I'm gonna post a full DIY on the cloud, and I'm getting my boy Paul Nall to make me a watermark. So hopefully I will get popular enough where people steal my stuff and my watermark is all over. That'd be the best. I would love to see my stuff reposted with my own watermark on it. It would be a dream come true. So for now that you have some background on me, I guess I'm just gonna get right into what the vlog is going to be. And the vlog is gonna be things that I'm working on. And basically, like, before I build them, after I build them, the troubles that I had, the successes that I had, and if I was going to do it in the future, what I would do again. So we'll start immediately with the couch, because I just finished the couch. The Couch Underglow is pretty amazing. I use Velostat sensors. You buy a foot of Velostat for about $4 on OllyTub. It costs nothing. You can make a million sensors with it. I'm using like 2 inches of the entire Velostat strip, 2 inches by a foot, 2 inches by 12, in order to make each one of my sensors. I have 2 under each of the couch, but I could have used less, truthfully. Things that I learned: you can put Velostat sensors that you make in series, and it doesn't really affect the threshold, which is pretty interesting. I expected it to affect like the current that it was reading, but it really didn't affect the current that I was reading. I guess that's because you're reading the minimum current. So I didn't actually check if it affected the thresholds when I sat on it, which might have changed, truthfully, but it doesn't really affect the code since you're really worried about what the thresholds are when you're not sitting on it. That's really the more important part. So let's check it out. I added 3 different color splits to it. I'm gonna move my table out of the way right now. Move my camera down so we can check this out. There we go. Cool. Ugh, look how dirty my floor is. I think we'll survive though. My camera wants to fall. But I have this cup of water that's gonna precariously balance it. Alright. Screw turning off the light. I'm not gonna do it. Neat. Seconds is so long in silence. There we go. I learned a lot about the couch LEDs. Most of that 10 seconds is a long time, and when you're sitting on the couch and there's lights coming out from underneath you, 10 seconds is basically long enough for your eyes to not care about it anymore. And after one section of the couch being basically underglowed while you're sitting on it, you don't recognize it anymore. So it's pretty comfortable. When I had it filtering and changing quickly, it was just miserable to handle. Your eyes hated it. I'm actually going to turn down the saturation right now because it feels extremely bright in here. Oh, that looks way better. Neat. Alright. So, what am I building now? The lights I just turned down in my room, these are 5 volts, 902 5-volt LEDs. And what I've recognized is one of the issues with driving power to 902 LEDs is the consistency that you can drive them, and that 5 volts isn't a lot of power for a lot of LEDs. As in, volts and amperage are what make LED brightness, and even though I'm powering all of these with a 60 amp power supply, the fact that it's only 5 volts means that after about 50 or 60 LEDs, the power is already dimming out of them. And that's a pure voltage dim, not an amperage dim. So I want to switch my 902 5-volt LEDs that are in my roof to 12-volt LEDs, because I'll be able to use less power sources and ideally have a much more even brightness on my LEDs. So I'll be replacing those this weekend, and I'm also going to try to keep the waterproof like surrounding on it, because they gave me like, I don't even know what to call it, like pieces that wrap around it that you nail in, and I'm going to try those. Because I think the diffusion from just like that one plastic slip over makes such a difference in having the straight LEDs glaring at you. It really is. Even at 10-foot ceilings is like, when I'm playing some of my really bright scenes, can be really intense. So hopefully keeping the plastic on will give us a little bit of a diffusion. Other than that, the main thing that I worked on and I'm going to be building and hopefully starting tonight is I'm starting resin casting. I've never really done it before, but it's something that I've always thought of. I've loved like the square crystals that get lit up by LEDs. Something I've always loved growing up. My parents would never buy them for me. Finally at the point where I think I can build one. So I'm going to try to build a crystal cat head, a clear resin cat head, and light it all up. I am currently tracking errors and successes and submissions of the tool I just rolled out at work through an LED thing. So it's going to be super neat if I can build out a clear resin piece that I can then integrate with my LED thing, and then have just like my own stand / clear resin LED light that is indicating successes and errors. And that's what I'm working on. So I printed out, now we're getting into the fun stuff. This is the stuff I really love. This is the new stuff that I haven't tried at all. Alright, I printed out these 3 puppies, and I say puppies, but I really mean kitties. These are my new cat faces that I'm going to use. And they're empty, they're hollow. They're the exact thickness of an LED strand, so I can basically surround the whole thing. But this is the new cat's head skeleton that we're using, and I realize that it's not, it's still porous. You can shoot air through it. I'm not sure if water will fall through this. I'm not sure if resin will fall through this. So I printed out 3 of them. I'm going to spray one of these with glue, with like, basically like glitter glue, what I use for the clouds, and that should seal up any pores that are in this. I'm going to try to pour one without it, just inside of the Pyrex on wax paper. See how that goes. The stuff I'm actually using is this clear polyester casting resin. Bam, right here. Oh man, you can't even see it. It's from Amazon. Oh, it's coming into view a little bit. Clear polyester casting resin, there we go. And I hear it smells really bad. I hear that when you put the curing agent in, it gets very hot. But these are 3D printed, right? These are printed at 180 degrees centigrade minimum. I think that they'll be able to handle the heat transfer. The main thing I need to find is paper cups with no wax. Are you kidding me? Where do you find paper cups with no wax in them? So I think I'm gonna have to destroy one of my glass cups, and by that I mean buy a new glass cup. And by that I mean destroy a glass cup, because my market closes in 15 minutes. So I won't be able to buy a glass cup in 14 minutes. I better head over there. Fudge! Almost cussed right though, but I didn't. I held it back. I can't cuss. What if I actually ever have some sort of like sponsorship? I'll never enjoy that. I even got the removal piece to remove from plastic. This stuff is still pretty coarse. Like, I can feel it. It hasn't been sanded down. It's not like super coarse, but I totally could see the resin sticking to it. So getting the removal gel will hopefully work. Yeah, this video is probably not super interesting because I didn't have a before project that I worked on. I do believe all the videos after this will be significantly more interesting because you'll get to hear about whatever project I succeeded and failed at, and then whatever project I'm working on currently. And I don't know, this year I want to have at least one big project a month. And knowing myself, that'll probably amount to hopefully 2 or 3. So let's all hope for the best. Please subscribe and follow if any of this sounds like stuff that you'll enjoy. The vlog episodes may not be exactly what you're interested in, but I think some of the other content will be right on there. Really, if you want to see my DIYs, almost all my DIYs are done in Imgur, which I know is absolutely insane because who the F uses Imgur that seriously? But the truth is the DIY on Reddit almost exclusively holds you to Imgur and other image hosting websites, and at least Imgur allows me to have a portfolio. So I could use DeviantArt or something like that, but my images aren't like heavy, they're not spectacular. I really just want to comment on them, so Imgur actually does exactly what I want to do. And I don't hate that DIY holds me to that. The only thing that I hate is that Imgur isn't really a social media platform. So when I ask for sponsorships, they look at me like I'm crazy when I say my most views are on Imgur. So I want to try to change it up. I started an Instagram. It's Mr.CatNaps. I am going to start posting my... I'm not sure if I'm going to do complete albums or just final products on my Imgur, and post the DIY, or on my Instagram, and post the DIY Imgur link in the comments. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to work all that out yet, but I definitely am going to figure it out because I think it's lame that my Imgur has most of my content and I just get almost no recognition for it because no one recognizes Imgur as a social media platform, which it isn't. So, yeah, that's about it. I think my Imgur is also Mr. CatNaps. I'm not exactly sure. I will post it in the description of this video. I'll post my Instagram in the description of this video. Please come back. I think that the videos will just get more interesting and better as time goes on. And I'll keep bringing you more and more interesting LED things. I can promise you that because I'm just getting started. So thank you guys. I'm going to try to run to this store and get some glass. And I actually mean like a glass cup to mix this resin in. I'll hit you guys up soon. See ya. Thank you. Mr. CatNaps up.